NACAC 2022. We are kicking off day 2 with a big name, University of Denver Vice Chancellor for Enrollment, Todd Rinehart. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, it's great to be here.
What has it been like for you? This is day 2. You got to experience all of day 1. What was your biggest takeaway from yesterday?
Yeah, I think the main thing, especially someone like me who's been a member of NACAC for a number of years, and you come to this conference to see friends and connect with colleagues, and we've had some really good crowds over the years until the last couple.
Right.
So this feels normal again to see over 6,000 people all in the same place. We're not on Zoom. You're actually hugging and high-fiving people, and that was a good feeling on that first day.
What about the sessions that you've already attended? What kind of information have you already been able to take away?
Yeah, I've been to a couple sessions thus far, and it's interesting, while we were kind of on hold in some ways during the pandemic, college admission kept moving at a very rapid pace. So it's good to hear, both from the high school side, and then I also went to a college session, just what changes they've observed the last year or two. And it's quite a bit has changed. And I think it's a lot for people to digest, but then they can take this information back and give good advice to the students they're counseling.
And you talked about some of the change. What are some of the biggest trends that you are seeing when it comes to enrollment?
The biggest one in the last 2 years is many colleges and universities, in fact, most colleges and universities went test optional. And initially they went optional because they had to.
Right.
All the testing sites, the high schools were not allowing any students to come into their buildings to take an SAT or an ACT. So a lot of schools, because they required that for admission, had to overnight almost change their policies and still make admission decisions and award merit scholarships. But I think what you're going to see now as we kind of land on the other side is schools realize, hey, for 2 years we've done okay. We've survived without these scores, and that maybe this will be a permanent change where tests will still have value, that it'll still be used at some schools and in some places, but I think we're going to give students the choice. What's the best record for you to present yourself? That might be a test, that might not be a test. And I think what we're trying to get out to students is both of those are okay.
And you know, it's funny because a lot of people test well, a lot of people don't test well, and it's not necessarily indicative of how well they would do in school moving forward. So it has to at least provide a better picture of the student overall when you're not necessarily putting so much weight on these tests.
That's right. You think about it, a test is one day on a Saturday. We'd much rather see what a student's done over a 3-year period. What courses are they taking? What grades are they earning? Are their grades improving each year? And I said 3 because mostly when they apply in fall their senior year, we don't have their grades yet for that 4th year.
Oh, that's true.
But still, a body of work, 3 years of work, as opposed to, you know, you got lucky on that one Saturday maybe, I don't know, or unlucky.
Well, are there other trends that you think that are going to start emerging now that we are, in theory, seeing an end or hopefully slowing down with the pandemic when it comes to enrollment and that process?
I think one of the nicest things for me working at university, not only are we back at a conference and seeing our friends and colleagues, we're actually able to fully host students on our campuses now. So a lot of us, in addition to testing not being available, we also weren't offering tours at our school. So that's been great to, again, have parents and students and siblings back checking out our campuses.
I love that. I know a lot of younger kids who I spoke to. I sound like I'm 100.
Right.
Those younger kids.
Yeah, you look good for 100.
Thank you. But they say, I don't know if I got the full college experience. I didn't get to tour campuses, and that was, you know, definitely a big thing when we were growing up, and not to mention cramming for those SATs as kids and things like that. So it's nice to see them being able to get all the experiences that they hope for.
That's right. It's really hard. You know, we really had 2 senior classes in a row that had to pick schools without really, you know, being able to go to 5 or 6 different campuses and walking around, maybe taking in a sample class or staying the night in the residence hall, eating in the dining hall. Most of us weren't allowing guests to do that. So I don't know how, I really am impressed with that group, that they could find their home without being able to do some of those traditional things. But it's fun for us to be able to offer those again and to see students experiencing and really making good comparisons before they make a decision.
All right, well, you would know best since you are on the University of Denver campus.
Right.
Give us a plug for the University of Denver. I've never been to Denver. Sell me on it.
First of all, it's time that you get to Denver. We need to get you there. We are kind of a medium-sized university. We're about 7 or 8 miles south of downtown. So we have access to an amazing city of Denver, but yet we're located more in a residential neighborhood. So you kind of get the both. You get the peace and quiet of more of a neighborhood, but yet all the amenities of a really big city just 10 minutes away.
It's a good sell, my friend.
Yes, and we have, we've got a great journalism school, so you could go and maybe you could be a visiting professor.
I would love that.
Right.
Well, we'll have that conversation offline. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm interested in journalism. That is so wonderful to hear. If people do want to know more about University of Denver, all the things that you guys are involved in, website, I'm assuming, is the best place.
Absolutely. Or just call or email me directly.
Directly.
Right.
We'll put his cell phone number down at the bottom of your screen. Just kidding. Thank you so much,
Thank
Todd.
you.
Thank you, everybody.